All right, hey everyone, this is Carlos Martinez coming to you live from my home in Chicago. I hope whenever you're watching this, whether it's the live or the replay, that you're having an amazingly blessed day, doing what you love to do with those that you love. So folks, here's the thing. I'm here to talk to you about a subject that I hope you find important. I hope you get value from it. If you do, please share it out with other people. But I'm here to talk to you about how to become how to go from an unknown to an influencer, in particular online, right? And then it kind of has to do with, people that you're influencing. It has to do with how many followers you get and stuff like that. So stay tuned for a little bit here. Let me just start welcoming some people. For those of you that celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Here in America, we just celebrated Christmas yesterday, December 25th, and actually all over the world, right, for that matter. Just an amazing time with family. I hope, again, those of you that celebrate, I hope you had an amazing time with family as well. And, may God give you all the blessings and blessings abundantly, moving on to the new year and into 2020. Can't believe we're here almost at the end of the decade and about to start a new one here. So anyway, with that aside, let me say hello to a few amazing people. The amazing Ron Deering. What's up, my brother? Thank you for sharing this out. I appreciate you. Hello, Constance. Merry Christmas to you as well. God bless you, my sister. So folks, I'm here to talk to you about how to go from unknown to influencer, especially if you're starting like an online business and you're looking to become more of an influencer and get more engagement on your post, and hopefully from there you get people to want to join your team or your business, your opportunity, or try your product, so on and so forth. Here to give you a few tips. So shout out to Ray Higdon. I was checking out one of his more recent blogs, and one of the people that works with him is this awesome superstar named Stacey Hall, who was interviewing a lady by the name of Elsa Morgan. Now, a little bit about Elsa, a little background. Married, she lives in Australia. Struggled. She went through bankruptcy not too long ago, and just kind of struggled online. And she knew, having a new baby, she knew she wanted to kind of be more home with her baby and stuff like that, as opposed to going off to the 9-to-5 job and making the bosses rich kind of thing. So she got into network marketing and she tried a variety of things and tried to have success with it, and she was just not able to get anywhere. She was just spinning her wheels. And I know a lot of us feel that way, right? A lot of us feel that way. I know I like my wheels were just spinning for years. I've been in the network marketing game for like 23, 24 years. And the overwhelming majority of the time I was just spinning my wheels. And maybe you feel the same. Maybe you're reaching out to people, or maybe you're joining after opportunity, and you're just not really making any kind of serious income to the point where it's, helping you out with your bills, or, to the point maybe where you can even get to the point where you're quitting your job or retire your spouse or whatever the case may be. Well, hang on tight. I'm here to give you a couple of tips that I hope you find value in. And if you do, please share this out with other people on how to go from unknown to becoming an influencer. Okay. So a couple of points that she mentioned, and she really nailed it on all these, because this really spoke to me as well. And if I look at, how I went from a virtual nobody, just June of 2018 to becoming somewhat of an influencer, I still don't even consider myself an influencer, but have some kind of an influence on the online space. It really, these things were like the exact same things that I went through, So the point number was, these are 5 quick points, right? So 5 quick points for you. Hopefully you get value from them. Number one, okay. And we hear this a lot. And some of these are going to be kind of like, hey, Carlos, this is common sense. Yes, but we don't do them, right? We don't do them. Like, for example, we know it's common sense, if we want to get into the shape we want to get into, just, eat less food, eat good food, right? Eat good food and go to the gym kind of thing. But we don't do it, right? But here's some tips on how to have success online, okay? Number 1 is be coachable, okay? Be coachable. And folks, so here's the thing. You don't know how many people reach out to me. Okay. Oh my goodness, Carlos, you're having tremendous success. Oh my goodness, Carlos, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? And, I take the time to help them. All right. And I do it, with a servant's heart, because I love helping people, and I'll give them, hey, listen, this is what you got to do. But yet they'll kind of like not do what I tell them to do, or I ask them to do. Because remember, they came to me for advice. I'm telling them whether you got to do this. And then they'll go to someone else I know, and because for whatever reason, whatever I told them either didn't sit in, or they don't feel like doing it. So they go to someone else I know that's a good friend of mine, and they'll ask him or her, hey, listen, hey, what do I got to do to have success? And then through just talking, through the grapevine and stuff like that. Like, well, I talked to this person and, she asked me for help or he asked me for help. And this is like, well, I told her the same thing. I told them the same thing. So that's not being coachable, right? That's not being coachable. So you got to get to the point where you're being coachable, where if you reach out to someone that you feel is going to help you be successful and they give you tips, they give you advice, they give you wisdom, they give you steps on to take, you just got to get to the point where you just put blinders on and move forward in that direction. That's it. Being coachable, doesn't mean just ignore it. Well, or I'm just going to take the best of what I want from here. I don't feel too comfortable doing this, so I'm going to take this. Or you know what? I forget that. The Carlos is crazy. That's not being coachable. Coachable means like, hey, if someone walked that route and they're having success with it, guess what? Just do the same thing. Don't reinvent the wheel, and don't second guess it by going to someone else. Because if you relate to that person and you ask that person for advice, then and they give you advice, then be coachable and follow the advice. Just be consistent with it and don't deviate from it. So that's number one, be coachable. Number two, if you're struggling, we tend to get to the point where we feel sorry for ourselves. Oh, nothing's working for me. Everything bad happens to me. Well, I've realized that when that happens, when I'm struggling, then what I've done is to turn the focus away from me. I decided to focus on other people, invest in other people, and by invest, I'm not talking about money necessarily at all. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about encouragement. I'm talking about words. I'm talking about wisdom. Take the time to invest in other people. And it doesn't always have to be someone that you're going to benefit from directly. Okay. As a matter of fact, it's always good to, help someone else where there's no benefit from you other than heavenly benefits. Right. So take the time to invest in other people, help them, coach them, guide them, maybe it's just a listening ear. That's it. But take the time to invest in other people. This takes the focus off of you. And what that does is that makes you feel better. And it starts to help you become a leader and a coach and a mentor. And, someone that, that people actually want to follow because of the fact that you took the time, with your servant's heart to invest in other people. Okay. Which leads me to the third point. All right. That was point number 2, right? Invest in other people, which leads me to the third point. You gotta be a leader. You gotta be a leader. So I think I really struggled with this one over the years because I just felt that for so long, I did not feel worthy to be a leader. And many times I still struggle with it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But you got to get to the point where like, wow, hey, I don't know what to do. Why are they following me? Like, I barely know what I'm doing. You got to get to the point where you lead your team. And the best way to lead is definitely with a servant's heart. But more importantly is lead by example. Lead by example. So what do I mean by that? So for example, if it's important to do Facebook Lives, at least 1 or 2 a week, right? If it's important to do Facebook Lives and you're trying to have your team do that, then guess what? You should be doing it. All right. If it's important to reach out to a minimum of 25, 50, 100 people, that whatever that number is, if it's important to reach out to people, every single day to get some exposures to your business, and you got to make sure that you're doing it as well, right? If it's important to be coachable, right, and you're teaching your team to be coachable, then guess what? You better be coachable as well. So being a leader means by setting the example for them. All right. Be the leader that you were meant to be, because then guess what? What happens is people are going to start to follow you as you become a leader, and you're out there, you're helping, you're coaching, you're teaching people, right? That is the best leader to be. All right. Step number four. Now this is where it gets kind of scary a little bit. All right. And this one really hit home every day. Do something every day that's going to make you uncomfortable. Whatever that may be, even the littlest thing, do something every single day to stretch yourself, to grow, because growth only happens during times of discomfort, right? If we're comfortable, there's no growth there. We're just staying still. It's the status quo. We're just staying still. But do something every single day that makes you feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's that phone call, or that message to that leader, like, oh my goodness, this person is an influencer. He or she's not going to ever look at me. Maybe it's just, reaching out to that person, doing that. Maybe there's a relationship that's kind of gone bad over the years and you guys haven't talked to each other in a while. Maybe it's just like, hey, you know what? Part of healing is forgiving, right? I better pick up the phone or send a message and forgive and just let it go, right? Because that's holding you back. Trust me, if there's any kind of grudge, there's any kind of unforgiveness in your heart, that is holding you back, right? Maybe it could be something like, hey, you know what? I've never done a Facebook Live. And like, oh my goodness, I'm so terrified of it, right? But do something every single day that's going to make you uncomfortable and something that's going to help you grow, okay? And that was number 4. And last but not least, be consistent more than anything else. If you look at one of the lives that I did, I think it was the Monday of last week, I talked about my number 1 marketing tip above anything else. My number 1 marketing tip is to be consistent. Be consistent. And I got that from the master himself, Ray Higdon. All right. Be consistent more than anything else, because, you know, it doesn't do you any good to knock out a few Facebook Lives and maybe reach out to people, you know, for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then you stop. And then you kind of just, you know, go MIA for a while. You're missing in action for a few weeks. It doesn't do you any good. You're better off just staying consistent, even if it's just a little bit, right? But be consistent with what you do. Be consistently working on your mindset more than anything else. Be consistently, okay, working with your team. Be consistently being a good leader and setting an example. Be consistent, you know, be consistent in the Facebook Lives that you do and giving value. Be consistent in the number of exposures that you get to your business or your product, right? Consistency trumps everything. If you can just be consistent, even if it's just a little bit, but be consistent with what you do, okay? And then over time, start to grow it slowly but surely. I'm telling you, you know, before you know it, you're going to get some traction from that. You're going to get some momentum, and you're going to get some success. And as a result, now that the young lady, Elsa Morgan from Australia, she's a big time influencer now, right? She's a big time influencer, but she relates it to all those things. You know, she was coachable, because she even said, number 1, coachable. She even said at the beginning she wasn't coachable at all. She second guessed everything. She questioned everything. And, you know, when someone told her to do something, she only did half of it. The other half she didn't do, or she only did what she felt comfortable with. That is not being coachable, right? So you got to be coachable, right? Invest in people, invest time in people, okay? Time, resources, words, you know, so on and so forth. But take the time to invest in people, even if you don't benefit directly from it. That was tip number 2. Tip number 3, you got to be a leader, right? In any way, shape, or form, right? You got to be a leader. But the best leader that you can be is be the leader that sets the example more than anything else. Tip number 4, do something uncomfortable every single day, something that's going to help you grow, something that stretch yourself, okay? And last but not least, be consistent above all else in all that you do. If you remain that way and continue to be consistent, and leading into these last few days, right, into these last few days of of this decade of 2019, you're going into 2020. I'm telling you, you're gonna hit the year 2020 and the decade off to a good start, as opposed to someone that just waits till, you know, January 1st, January 2nd to get started. So hopefully you guys got some value from this. If you did, please share this out with other people. And let me just say hello and talk to a few people and say thank you to the amazing Lily Romero. Thank you for all the love. Hello, Lori Maurer. You're amazing. Be consistent. That's right, Lily. Thank you. You're a blessing. Mr. Mike Smith, what's up, my brother? How's it going? Jason, sweet. How's it doing? How you doing? How you doing? Luis Ramos, Julie K. Mumford, my sister. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining my live. You guys are a blessing. And folks, on a side note, okay, little side note, if you've tried online businesses before and they just didn't work for you, or you're just tired of living check to check and you want to try something new and different, but with someone that's going to help you and coach you and mentor you and love on you, and sometimes it's going to be tough love, you know, comment below, say more information, or send me a private message, or just go to jointhisfamily.com, jointhisfamily.com. Check out the opportunity there. Watch the video that's in there. It's going to give you some basic information. If you still got questions after that, feel free to reach out to me via Facebook message, via message on YouTube, or just send me a comment below on this video here that you see. All right. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You're a blessing. Love you guys so much. Until the next time. Bye for now. Love you. Mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.